Coinbase just had an alarming exploit, and the hackers who exploited them, try to get them to pay $20 million to cover it up, and they said no. We're going to watch actually Brian Armstrong talk about that and just a little bit in this video, but first and foremost, I want to get into the meat and potatoes of what this data breach includes. First and foremost, it only affects 1% of Coinbase monthly transacting users. So I'm not saying for sure you watching this video are affected by this. However, let's just assume you are, because if you act irrationally and quickly, then you could actually put yourself in a bad situation. Let's start off by trying to be crystal clear. They do not have your login credentials. They do not have your private keys. They cannot move your funds. They cannot access your Prime accounts, and they cannot access any of your hot or cold wallets. What this means is your Coinbase, your money on your Coinbase is fine if you were in that 1%. There's no problem whatsoever with the money. However, where there would be a problem is if you act really fast and you get an email from somebody saying, oh gosh, there was a Coinbase breach. You need to log in and fix this right now. Well, guess what they do have? They have your name, your address, your phone, and your email. Therefore, they can send you an email that's like that. They can send you an email pretending to be Coinbase and get you to sign in, and then they have access to most of the things in the bottom. They also have your phone and your address and your name, which is pretty alarming because that can be sold in the black market. And yeah, there's been some crypto crimes lately. So that's a whole nother set of tea for another video. This is really going to suck for the people that were exposed by this. They have the last 4 digits of your social. That doesn't really matter, to my knowledge. I mean, there are certain things that ask you for the last 4 digits of your social. I guess I could get into those things, but yeah, the only thing I can think of for me is like paying back my college loans or something. So I guess if the hackers want to pay that back for me, they can. But I don't think this matters. I don't know. You can correct it down in chat. Mass bank account numbers and some bank account identifiers. Government ID images, that sucks. Driver's license, passports, that can all be sold on black market. Account data, so basically anything you've bought or sold. So also that's going to link back to your other wallets. And so they can kind of try to phish you in those other wallets. The phishing is going to be insane. When I say phishing, I mean they're going to send you emails, they're going to send you tokens to sell, they're going to send you all this stuff if you're in this breach and try to get you to click the wrong thing or sell the wrong thing that's tied to a smart contract and drain your funds and actually drain your funds. And they got limited corporate data, including documents, training material, communications, blah, blah. Before we go into Brian Armstrong's thing, there's a couple of things here. They got to this through the support agents overseas. In other words, I mean, it's typical. Everybody knows that Coinbase support sucks, and people that are working for it are these foreign jobs that are overseas, and they basically targeted those people and to get this data breach. A very unfortunate situation. The solution, I guess, would be higher pay grades to hire more qualified people than those people. Not saying that because they're overseas, of course. I'm saying that because a lot of times these customer support jobs are kind of like the first line into these companies, but I think there needs to be a higher bar and a higher bracket for vetting that goes into this. So as far as everything else goes, just don't click anything. Don't sell anything you don't recognize. Try to I mean, again, they don't have access to your account, but they are absolutely going to try to phish you. So just what I personally try to do is I try to do everything within the app. So because I make content, I've been targeted so much, and a lot of times I'll get an email saying your Coinbase has been breached, log into this. So what I'll do is I will not open that email at all. I won't even expand it. And I'll go to Coinbase directly, and I'll check my notifications in Coinbase, and I'll check my security in Coinbase, and everything checks out. Okay, well, that was just a phishing email. I don't click anything from emails, and you could probably, it's probably safe to use like fresh emails for a lot of this stuff that's crypto related anyways, because it's so targeted. Just be careful. This is what they have, now. So moving on. I actually haven't watched this full video, but I know that the hackers, as I said at the beginning, basically tried to get $20 million to give all the information back. And Brian Armstrong, the CEO, was like, no, we are not going to do that. Instead, we are going to put a $20 million bounty on you, and we're going to come after you. So for the remaining part of this video, and I'm also going to, let's say, react to it, I guess, and give my opinions on it. We're going to watch exactly what that entailed. So let's go ahead and watch together. and see what he says.
At Coinbase, it was a ransom note demanding $20 million in Bitcoin in exchange for these attackers not releasing some information they claim to have obtained on our customers. Now, we like to do things transparently here at Coinbase, and so I'm going to respond publicly to these attackers by saying, no, we are not going to pay your ransom. In fact, I have a few next steps in mind that I'm going to share at the end of this video. But for the rest of you watching, wondering what happened, we did an investigation here, and these attackers have been approaching our overseas customer support agents, looking for a weak link, someone who would accept a bribe in exchange for sharing some customer information with them. Now, our support tools have limited access to customer information. There was no passwords.
So when I say things like maybe they need to hire within the US, I said that on my short that I made within that. It's not necessarily because I think that there's obviously incompetency overseas at all, but there are laws that I know exist in the US. If you got bribed in the US and you were to give out this information to as a US person working, you will be in jail, and you know that. There's no escaping that, like absolutely in jail. I don't know the laws for everywhere else that they're hiring. Maybe like they can get away with it. And that's the big thing. That doesn't mean that US people would not want to do this for a bribe. You hand somebody a couple $1 million for this and they're probably they would want to do it, but they know they're going to get caught. There's no way around it. Whereas wherever they're hiring at, that might not be the case. These people might be able to get away scot-free. So that's kind of what I mean.
Or private keys or funds accessed as part of this. But customer support agents do have access to personal information like name, date of birth, address, etc. And attackers still want access to this information because it allows them to conduct social engineering attacks where they can call our customers, impersonating Coinbase customer support, and try to trick them into sending their funds to the attacker. Now, unfortunately, they were able to find a few bad apples. Our systems are designed to mitigate the impact of something like this, so less than 1% of our monthly transacting users had their records accessed, but this is still unacceptable.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you what we're doing about it.
Yeah, do it.
So first, any customers that were socially engineered as a result of this incident, we're going to reimburse them. There's more details on our website, on our blog post.
There's going to be fake sites claiming
reimbursement process. You can read more there.
Claim now.
Any customers who have been impacted by this or have been notified at this point. Number two, we're hardening our systems around customer support to make something like this much more difficult in the future. And third, we're actually relocating some of our customer support operations as a result of this.
Good. Should have done this a year ago.
But the last step is maybe the most important, which is that instead of paying this $20 million ransom,
we're paying somebody else.
We're turning it around. And we're putting out a $20 million award for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of these attackers.
I just want to, right here, if you're watching this video and you're that guy that's going to go find these hackers and then claim that reward, and you found out about it through this video, at least give me like 1%. What, 1% of that $20 million?
For these would-be extortionists or anyone seeking to harm Coinbase customers, know that we will prosecute you and bring you to justice. And now you have my answer.
That reminds me of in Taken, when he finds out that his daughter is taken, and he's like, I will find you. That's kind of how Brian's giving me those vibes. But anyways, this is everything that happened with the Coinbase data breach / hack. This is a really big deal. I don't mean to belittle it. I just wanted to catch all you guys up because I found out about it, of course, right when it happened. If you've made it this far, let me know down below. Just drop something down below about something that you learned in this video about the hack or just in general. Give me a like, a subscribe, and I will see you guys next video.